Before today's episode begins, we got a little thing.
Yep, we have a correction to make. Last episode, what we did was we made fun of the fact that Pharaoh's attendant went and found Moses' own mother to be the wet nurse. We made fun of it, saying, what a coincidence. Yeah. Actually, no, not a coincidence. We just read it incorrectly. Reading comprehension, it's important. Someone pointed this out to us, actually, in the comments. Your name is escaping me right now. I apologize. It was actually Moses' own sister who had been watching from a distance who found the mother for Pharaoh's daughter.
It's a really weird wording translation. So go ahead and read that part real quick.
Yep.
And then we can all, move on from this.
Okay. This comes from Exodus chapter 2, verse 6. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. This is one of the Hebrew babies, she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you? So that's Moses' sister who had been following the basket as it went down the Nile, presumably. Yep, so with that correction made, sit back and enjoy this episode of The Bible Reloaded.
You're welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
This is The Bible Reloaded.
And Hugo drank too much milk before we started recording.
I'm so milky.
He's been bitching about his milk intake since he got to my house and then went back for a second glass, and I don't feel bad for him. It was chocolate milk though, it looked good.
Ugh.
Apparently it's not doing such a good job.
It's not. You ever drink too much milk and then it wants to come up? It wants to come back up?
Yeah.
Feeling it.
Fun fact, most Asians are lactose intolerant because when they were evolving, they didn't have milk-producing cattle, so they aren't used to...
What about yaks?
They aren't produced...
What about yaks?
You don't milk a yak. Everyone knows you don't milk a yak.
I don't know that.
They're not used to having to process lactate. Or lactic acid.
Oh, good for them.
Anyways, so, this is episode 2 of the Exodus story. We'll be doing a whole bunch of these. Hugo, you should drink less milk. We say words?
Oh. Here we go.
Wow, really? Just... Here
we go.
Milk.
Oh.
Alright, well, where do we leave off, at least?
Okay, here's where we left off. So God just come to Moses via burning bush.
Right.
But it's not a hot burning bush. It doesn't follow the laws of thermodynamics. It's that kind of bush. And he's just told Moses, hey, you got to go back and get all the Jews from Egypt. Want to do that for me? And he's like, well, I don't really want to, but they're just going to talk about this. So, middle of this conversation, chapter 4. Moses answered, what if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, the Lord did not appear to you? Then the Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? A staff, he said. The Lord said, throw it on the ground. Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a snake, and he ran from it. Then the Lord said to him, reach out your hand and take it by the tail. So Moses reached out and took hold of the snake and turned it back into a staff in his hands. This, said the Lord, so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has appeared to you.
Why does he always say that?
Why
does he have to, repeat himself? Well, these are the only people that believed in me. The 4.
Continuity.
All those people.
Continuity.
He's, name-dropping.
Kinda. Then the Lord said, put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand inside his cloak, and when he took it out, the skin was leprous. It had become as white as snow. Hey, Donna! I'm about to give this guy a disease that's going to fucking fuck him up. God! Okay, it'll only last 5 seconds, but it's gonna be hilarious for those 5 seconds.
This isn't funny. You're kind of an asshole.
You like it. Now put it back in your cloak, he said. So Moses put his hand back into his cloak, and when he took it out, it was restored, like the rest of his flesh. Donna, come back!
What?
I gave him back his normal skin.
Okay, but it still was fucked up in the first place. I don't know why you had to do it in the first place. I don't know why you had to be an asshole to everybody. My mom said you weren't.
Oh, here you go again. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she said you were an asshole. She didn't like the first impression. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
she warned me.
Yeah, she warned you. She warned you about a lot of things. Why don't you call me when you get off the fucking rag?
You know what? Fuck you. That's your problem right there. That's your fucking problem. Oh, she's being a bitch. Must be menstruating. You know what? Actually, I'm not, okay? I'm late.
Not anymore.
God, did you just give me a magic abortion again?
Just go to bed. I'll be in later. Just fuck off right now, okay?
Such a dick.
You're probably gonna need a tampon anyway. There's a fetus leaking out of you. Verse 8. Then the Lord said, if they do not believe you or pay attention to the first sign, then they may believe the second. But if they do not believe these two signs or listen to you, take some water from the Nile and pour it onto the dry ground. The water you take from the river will become blood on the ground. That's an unimpressive magic trick. I could do that.
Really?
Yeah. This milk is doing a number on me.
Next fight.
Oh. Moses said to the Lord, pardon your servant, Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. Doesn't seem like it. That seemed like a pretty nice sentence.
Yeah, you did
using
all right.
the word eloquent.
He needs more confidence, in my opinion.
Yep. Then the Lord said to him, who gave human beings their mouths? Who made them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. I will help you speak and will teach you what to say.
So,
laying the smack down
yeah.
on Moses.
And also, anytime you say that anything bad happens isn't God's fault, he totally just said it was.
I make people blind and deaf because fuck you. Milk burp coming back. Hold on, here it comes. Wait. No, it's right there.
I want to hear about your milk burp. That's disgusting. Try to shake it out. You want me to pat you? Burp
No.
You want me to burp you?
No.
That's cute.
It's not.
Hurry up, man.
I don't care. But Moses said, pardon your servant, Lord. Please send someone else. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, what about your brother Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and he will be glad to see you. You shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will help both of you speak, and will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth, as you were God to him. But take the staff in your hand so you can perform the signs with it.
So, basically, Moses isn't really confident in his speech, and it's implied that he has some sort of stutter or slur or something. So his brother Aaron is now the official spokesman of the Moses God team.
Milk burp.
That's so gross.
There's a little bit of fried chicken.
It's no bad. That's not bad.
It's a bad day. I'm sorry, everyone. Verse 18. Moses returns to Egypt. Then Moses went back to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said to him, let me return to my own people in Egypt to see if any of them are still alive. Jethro said, go, and I wish you well. Now the Lord had said to Moses in Midian, go back to Egypt, for all those who wanted to kill you are dead.
Whoa!
I think we can assume God killed them.
God took care of that shit.
He's like, there are people who want to kill me. Don't worry about it. They're just going to wake up with horse heads in their bed. Also their heads in their bed. It was his head in a horse body. And the horse woke up with a body. It's like Freaky Friday, but at the Kentucky Derby.
That's the worst. Milk makes you stupid.
Oh, it does. Too much lactate in my diet. So Moses took his wife and sons, put them on a donkey, and started back to Egypt.
Right. I mean, I usually load up my donkey.
And he took the staff of God in his hand. He took the staff of God in his hand. The Lord said to Moses, when you return to Egypt, see that you perform before Pharaoh all the wonders I have given you the power to do. But I will harden his heart so that he will not let the people go. Now, a lot of people will say, especially, remember, for context, I went to church for a lot of my youth and went to a Christian school for a time. When telling this story,
right.
For one thing in Christian school, at least in elementary schools, they don't read directly from the Bible. That's not something they do. I assume because it's boring. The official Bible of my school was King James Version anyway, which is really hard to read even as an adult, just boring. So what they do is they have flashcards, which are just pictures, and then they will tell the stories like a storybook, which is basically what the Bible is anyway, but it's, simplified. Kind of like how you would say the Three Little Pigs or whatever, but,
right.
Bible
With
stories.
More murder.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, the Three Little Pigs has its fair share of murder.
Yeah. When telling this story in particular, it's always noted, to children at least, in my experience, that Pharaoh is a bad person for not letting the people go. It's more than implied that God is making Pharaoh say no. So, two things we can extrapolate from this. One, it's not Pharaoh's fault that he's not letting the people go because God is forcing him to say no. And two, God interferes with free will.
There's no free will right here. At all.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, anytime if you were discussing with some Christian, why doesn't God appear or something? Because it would interfere with free will. Well, he's done it in the past. For one thing, you could argue that during the New Testament, Jesus performing miracles took away free will from those who saw those miracles. Two, things like this, where God is explicitly saying, I'm making him make his mind up this way. This is basically God saying, well, we need an excuse to plunder them, as he said previously, so we're gonna make him not let you go, so later we have an excuse to say fuck you and burn his shit to the ground and take a whole bunch of other things.
And shit like this is exactly why we read to you straight from the Bible. So that when a Christian says, hey, you're wrong, you atheist son of a bitch, you can go, actually, right here in Exodus 4:21, it clearly states that
that's the Old Testament. So are the Ten Commandments,
and that's literally in this one.
And then they'll say, but the Ten Commandments are something that Jesus brings up, and then you can say, well, Jesus also said, not a jot or tittle of the law will go away because of me. And
yeah, we're doing your arguing for you. Look how good we are.
And then you can punch him in the face.
Yeah,
that's battery. Don't do that.
Yeah,
unless you can get away with it.
Flip the table over at him.
Flip the table. What would Jesus do? Flip your shit. That's what he would do.
Flip it.
Verse 22. Then say to Pharaoh, this is what the Lord says. Israel is my firstborn son, and I told you, let my son go, so he may worship me. But you refuse to let him go, so I will kill your firstborn son. I think it's funny that it's not, let them be free so that they can be free. Let them be free so that they may worship me.
Right. You ever heard that, let my people go? That's not just a slave song. It's straight from the Exodus stuff. And it's supposed to be like, oh, Moses, such a good guy. Let my people go. Free from slavery.
No, God's like, those are my fucking slaves.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Those are my slaves, bitches. He's more like just like if Thomas Jefferson got ripped off, he'd be like, give me my slaves.
What?
Thomas Jefferson had slaves.
Of course he did. So do many of the founding fathers.
Right, but Thomas Jefferson's good imagery.
Oh. I've been to George Washington's house.
That's not Thomas Jefferson's house.
I know. Went to the slave quarters. Not ideal.
Not?
No.
No way.
You'd think for George Washington he could have better slave, because he's George Washington, you'd be like, maybe he has decent slave quarters. Maybe those were the good slave quarters. Imagine the not president of the United States slave quarters. They're like the first slaves, not like first as in initial, like first as in like first lady. They're the first slaves.
Oh, wow.
Verse 24. At a lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him.
Of course.
What?
Right. Just, you know.
But Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off her son's foreskin, and touched Moses' feet with it.
Yeah, because that's what you do, Hugo. You do a field circumcision. Because God was about to kill Moses for no fucking reason.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me, she said, so the Lord let him alone. At that time she said, bridegroom of blood, referring to circumcision.
Okay, so, that's happening in this book. Why don't you just think about that for a second? Yeah. Cut foreskins off, threw it at his toes. Now it's like a foreskin toe ring.
The Lord said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. So he met Moses at the mountain of God and kissed him. Then Moses told Aaron everything the Lord had sent him to say, and also about all the signs that he had commanded him to perform.
Doesn't mention at all why he tried to kill Moses just a second ago. Just totally, we're not going to talk about that shit.
Moses and Aaron brought together all the elders of the Israelites, and Aaron told them everything the Lord had said to Moses. He also performed the signs before the people, and they believed. And when they heard that the Lord was concerned about them and had seen their misery, they bowed down and worshipped.
It was that easy.
Yep, it was like, hey. Chapter 5. After Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go, so that they may hold a festival to me in the wilderness.
Change the words a little bit to make it sound a little less,
but here's,
worship me.
No, here's the thing. They're lying to him. They're saying, let us go. They're not saying in any way, shape, or form
we're
at
gonna
this
leave
point,
forever.
they're just saying, let us go so we can go do this ritual for our God. We'll come back.
Yeah.
So no, just so you know, Pharaoh doesn't change his mind. He's being lied to.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think anyone should have slaves in the first place, but he's being lied to, and that's why he goes to get them later. Also, interesting how easy it is to get talk to Pharaoh.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that.
Pharaoh said, "Who is the Lord that I should obey him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go." Then they said, "The Lord of the Hebrews has met us. Now let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God, or he may strike us with plagues or with the sword."
Oh, so now it's like,
You gotta let us go or else God's gonna fuck us up. Seriously, please. Come on. Come on, Pharaoh.
we'll be back. It's implied that Pharaoh would normally be a nice guy about it. Go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
God's just a fucking piece of shit, as we've stated before.
But the king of Egypt said, "Moses and Aaron, why are you taking the people away from their labor? Get back to your work." Then the Pharaoh said, "Look, the people of the land are now numerous, and you are stopping them from working." Well, okay, this is still slavery, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's a little different.
It's a little more loose. But again, there were no slaves in Egypt at the time. Let's just make that very fucking clear.
6. That same day Pharaoh gave this order to the slave drivers and overseers in charge of the people. "You are no longer to supply the people with straw for making bricks. Let them go and gather their own straw. But require them to make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the quota. They are lazy. That is why they are crying out, 'Let us go and sacrifice to our God.' Make the work harder for the people so that they would keep working and pay no attention to lies."
It's kind of a shitty way to just like, oh, just do the straw thing.
Yeah, and remember, not just him being an asshole, God specifically says, "I will harden his heart," so it can be assumed that this is action he would not normally take, but it is that because God has changed his free will.
Yeah, D-bag God up there. Just fucking all the time, messing with Donna, aborting babies.
So many abortions.
That's all he does.
Then the slave drivers and overseers went out and said to the people, "This is what Pharaoh says, I will not give any more straw. Go out and get your own straw wherever you can find it, but your work will not be reduced at all. Get your own fucking straw. This is my straw. Pharaoh's straw. Straw."
I don't think you can just...
So the people scattered all over Egypt to gather stubble for the straw. The slave drivers kept pressing them, saying, "Complete the work required of you each day, just as when you had straw." They're really hammering this point in.
They're really like, fucking... Seriously, they're not getting any straw, guys. I don't know how little straw I can stress that they're getting.
It's weird.
It's hardly any straw.
This is the weirdest, like, slave driver who just spouts exposition.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, you're not getting any straw, but you have to get them same amount of bricks. And then he's like, "Jerry, they know. Shut up. Shut up.
You shut up. They're not getting any straw, dude." Yeah.
We know.
We fucking understand.
They gotta make the same number of bricks. The same number of bricks.
We understand, you son of a bitch.
Donnie.
Don't.
Twist ending. It was Donnie.
Don't. No one cares. That's not a good place to shoehorn that. We'll shoehorn it later.
Okay. And Pharaoh's slave drivers beat the Israelite overseers they had appointed, demanding, "Why haven't you met your quota of bricks yesterday or today as before?" So they not only had slaves, but they had slave overseers. I would assume these are really efficient slaves who they then say, "Okay, you're getting put in charge of some of these other slaves." So there is room for advancement in this slavery, I guess.
It's got a stratified slave system.
Then the Israelite overseers went and appealed to the Pharaoh. "Why have you treated your servants this way? Your servants are given no straw, yet we are told, 'Make bricks.' Your servants are being beaten, but the fault is with your own people." Aw, snap.
Woo.
Fault's with you, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your headdress. Verse 19, the Israelite overseers realized that they were in trouble when they were told, "You are not to reduce the number of bricks required of you each day." When they left Pharaoh, they found Moses and Aaron waiting to meet them, and they said, "May the Lord look on you and judge you. You have made us obnoxious to Pharaoh, and his officials have put a sword in their hand to kill us." So basically everything's really fucked up for the Israelites now.
Yeah.
Moses returned to the Lord and said, "Why, Lord, why have you brought trouble on these people? Is it why you sent me? Ever since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has brought trouble on these people, and you have not rescued your people at all."
Called right the fuck out, God.
God's sitting on the...
Hey, God. What the fuck, man?
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, here, Aaron, let's hear this.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You didn't even have the balls to talk to Pharaoh. You and Aaron do it. So why don't you get off my well-toned ass?
But you fucking said that we would like take care of this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you omnipotent? Are you? Did you look into the future with your omnipotence and see how this is gonna work out for you? Because I did. And here's the thing. My girlfriend, Donna. You don't know Donna. I'll introduce you sometime. Maybe we'll go out to dinner. That's not the point. We're arguing right now. Here's the thing. Had to abort her child. To be fair, took about half a second for me to do. I have all the power in the world. It's just how it is, okay? Here's the thing. I killed that kid. I killed him. He's dead. He's fucking dead. I don't feel bad about it. I do it all the time. With lots of things. That's not the point, okay? I have a lot on my plate, okay? Do you understand that there are other countries and continents you don't even know? There's this whole thing, there's these brown people. They don't have beasts of burden at all. There's in fucking America. You don't even know what that means. There's beavers. You don't know what beavers are. Yeah. There's other shit going on, Moses. There's a whole world out there. Self, damn it. Meanwhile, you got a fucking stick. Turns into a snake. Okay? Get your shit together, Moses and Aaron. Aaron, now you can't talk, can ya? You're sitting back there not saying shit. Why don't you get out there, talk to the fucking Pharaoh, I'll harden his heart some more.
That seems counterproductive. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just talking. Okay. Well, no, never mind. Forget what I said. Taking the snake stick. We're gonna do our thing. All right. What were you gonna say though? What was?
Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. Because of my mighty hand, he will let them go. Because of my mighty hand, he will drive them out of this country. I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as God Almighty, but by my name, the Lord, I did not make myself fully known to them. I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, where they resided as foreigners. Moreover, I have heard the groaning of the Israelites, whom the Egyptians are enslaving, and I have remembered my covenant. Therefore, say to the Israelites, I am the Lord, and I will bring you from under the yoke of the Egyptians. I will break free you from being slaves to them, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm, with mighty acts of judgment. I will take you as my own people, and I will be your God. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God, who brought you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians.
Did you did you rehearse that? Because that was...
I'm not gonna lie, I made some notes.
Yeah?
Sticky notes. Put them on some sticky notes, stuck them to my laptop.
I don't know what either of those words mean.
Okay, I'm kind of stuck on 1990s colloquialisms right now,
okay.
So I'm going to try and put this in. Let's say you take a lamb parchment that you, would have, and then you take, the sticky part of the lamb. I don't know.
Sticky?
I assume on the inside there's sticky stuff. I don't look inside lambs.
We sacrifice shit to you, all the time, and you don't even look at it? You don't look at it?
No, not at all. That's gross. I just like to know that you're paying attention to me. Anyways, you just take the sticky stuff, whatever's inside of them, and you put it on it, and then you can stick it to things, so then the notes that you write can be stuck to things. And laptops are basically magical devices that make light and porn.
I like porn.
Know what porn is, of course you do. One thing I like about humans, I gave you guys an inclination for the pornography.
Yeah, I like the weird stuff. The goat sticky stuff. If you put it in porn references, I would have gotten it.
Well, I didn't mean that kind of goat sticky. But anyways.
Okay.
Alright, so you need to go report to the Israelites. Moses reported this to the Israelites, but they did not listen to him because of their discouragement and harsh labor. Then the Lord said to Moses, Go, tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the Israelites go out of his country. But Moses said to the Lord, If the Israelites will not listen to me, why would Pharaoh listen to me, since I speak with faltering lips?
End of that episode.
I guess so.
Yeah. All right. I mean, thanks for listening. You guys should go look up sticky goat porn.
Is there really dry goat porn?
I'm sure there's both kinds. I'm sure there's sticky, where it's lotioned goats that you just
put together. Goat fur just stuck with lotion.
Oh, it's just all nappy.
Furry lotion.
Yeah, and then there's very dry goats that are just as arid as goats can get.
This goat is like a deciduous forest.
Ooh, deciduous.
Anyways,
good job. Okay, shout out. May have heard me talk about it in the past. Gamma Atheist. He's a really cool guy. I just want to give him a shout out about his blog. You gotta go check out his blog. A link is provided down in the description box. Go tell him how you became an atheist, or how you came to not have a religion, or just tell him any awesome story on his blog there, and he'll really appreciate it. And tell him the Bible Reloaded sent you. He'll give you a discount.
On nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of it's like a coupon that you get for nothing.
I am a coupon.
But you get to look at his chest. Look at that picture of him. God, I bet his chest hair smells like just the most clean fields.
I'd like to make part of him sticky.
Mostly his butt.
Anyways,
Hear that, Dave?
Good. Just
Hugo wants to fuck your butt.
we're not doing this. Okay.
We're doing this.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter
And the Reddit.
And we have various things at
Yeah.
a store.
If you haven't noticed, we're on the internet, so you can find us. Peace.
I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake. I was lying. Now peace.
Bible Reloaded.
Later. See you guys.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're not. I haven't pressed the stop button yet. Bye. Seriously this time. Bye. No, you hang up.
You hang out.
You.
You.